Hi, welcome back to Partners Live. We're excited to be here live at reInvent, sharing the news of reInvent with amazing Amazonians and our AWS partners. My name is Amory Woodburn. I'm a Senior Partner Development Specialist focused in security and one of your co-hosts for Partners Live. And I am welcomed with my amazing co-host, Ryan Orsi.
I get the amazing title today. Thank you, Anne-Marie. I feel very special and honored to be here with you all. Yes, I'm Ryan Orsi. Hello, folks. I'm running a team of partner specialists in security, identity, cloud ops, and resilience here at AWS. And speaking of AWS, from Partners Live, we'd like to bring in some of our leaders across AWS to speak with them and share some thoughts and ideas. And we happen to have one down the way. Roland Barcia, hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us on Partners Live.
Thank you for having me.
Do you mind, for those that don't know you yet, tell us who you are, what you do for the company?
Yeah, sure. Awesome. My name's Roland Barcia. I lead our specialist tech team, so it's part of our worldwide specialist organization that also part of the AWS Specialist Partner Org. And specialists kind of have our deepest skills in the organization, helping customers with some of our complex problems. I also run a few teams, our specialist prototyping team, our specialist solution team, so building out accelerators and guidance for our customers to help kind of consume services. Our event outfitter, so things like Workshop Studio, and our SACS program, which features the young talent coming in from colleges and universities and helping them become deep specialists.
Well, how cool. Man, you do a lot in y'all's team.
It's a lot, Roland. I think I'm learning today, too. Are you learning, too, Anne-Marie?
Yeah, can we get a college program?
I know. We're going to have to go talk to Roland about that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You might know a guy now.
All right.
I love it. Well, we've got a lot to talk with Roland about today. And, Werner just did his keynote. We've talked about the other keynotes that happened. We're at the point where we can talk about anything that's happened, right? All the secrets are kind of out.
Everything's on the table.
What are some of the highlights from reInvent this week that you are excited about?
Well, everyone probably comes up here and talks about, the new generative AI stuff with Bedrock, our new model, Nova, our new stuff with Amazon Q, helping with apps. But really excited this morning, we're talking about some of the things that we've seen around microservices and how we've learned historically building systems. And in many ways, it models what our customers are going through as they're transforming their enterprises, using partners to help them do that, modernizing applications. And so I'm really excited about all these abilities sparking the next wave of innovation as I'm building new apps around generative AI, transforming the way I look at data, all the announcements and features within Amazon Bedrock, where you're able now to take RAG data, not just with vector databases, but SQL sources and all sorts of different data sources. So really helping you get more accuracy. So really excited about all those things.
Oh, awesome, awesome. And Roland, I would also say, just a shout out, you said modernizing your applications as well, and containers. There's a very big part of that modernization story. And I know your team just recently introduced Crow. KRO?
Yeah, so, KRO.
Might want to hit on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an open source project. We actually did that a few weeks ago at KubeCon in Utah and Salt Lake City. And it's really about orchestrating resources within a Kubernetes environment. A lot of our partners and customers use Kubernetes in AWS, and they use their containers together with a lot of our managed services. This is a project that kind of helps you automate and orchestrate deploying these things together, kind of simplifying the deployment process.
Right, managing multiple cluster controllers across different custom APIs can be complex. I mean, tying back to Vernal's keynote today, right? Complexity will always persist, but I love the work that your team's doing to help, put some simplicity into that complexity equation there.
Yeah,
you're doing great work.
Absolutely, thank you, thank you. I'm not as comedic as you. I'm trying to be funny.
Roland, you're hitting it. You're nailing it, man.
Right,
Don't worry, you're nailing it.
Yeah, it's come naturally, It's good.
All right.
So are there any other things that you heard or things that our partners are thinking about that you've heard from?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've done a bunch of roundtables this week with customers and partners. One of the ones I did yesterday with a set of our partners around how do we accelerate innovation with generative AI? And what are some of the inhibitors that make us go slower than we want to? So how do we get faster? I learned a lot of interesting things around I think you're talking about media later today, right?
Absolutely.
So one of our partners dealing with different content providers and not being able to mix the different data sources, but still trying to save money and like tune those models or train those models, and then making sure that they're able to test it, making sure that that's accurate, right? Like all these problems they're dealing with, and then learning how to do the development life cycle around that.
Are we talking testing to make sure something is in fact true, like the automated reasoning sort of a use case?
In fact true, it's answering the questions. And as models evolve, sometimes the life cycle of, we get more information, all of a sudden something that was correct in a previous generation, later, you have to retest it. And so there's big cost in that. And that's why some of these features around some of the data life cycle are so important this week.
That's awesome. And that goes in with like our hallucinations, which, by the way, I love that they call it that.
It's kind of a cool name. It's kind of catchy.
I don't like when it happens, though.
No.
So this is making it smarter and giving us the right data we need. And even maybe goes back to our conversation about our automation and the importance of making sure that it's happening when it happens so you can be doing the work that you need to be doing.
Well, and if it's not Roland's team doing the work, there's also a vibrant community of partners around us, right? AWS has a very vibrant partner community. What Roland's talking about, if you're an AWS partner network partner, you should be thinking, wow, hey, there's a great opportunity to help also add extra value to our mutual customers. You've heard automation, you've heard the software development lifecycle around an application still exists, but when you're dealing with custom models, custom training data, it's kind of sounds like it's a new animal, Roland, but is it really a new animal?
Well, I think it's an old animal, a new animal with maybe some new fur or something like that, right? But I do think there's some new unique problems and challenges that are introduced with all the different types of data that you have, all the different data sources, the amount of data, so it's like in bulk. So.
Absolutely. We had several companies yesterday. We had IBM on yesterday, as a matter of fact, speaking something very, very similar, kind of like related to what you're speaking about, Roland, that they do automated security for cloud, leveraging AI, and they're able to kind of get this feedback loop going where whatever the model is producing, is it in fact true? And they're kind of reducing hallucinations, but we're talking like a cybersecurity context here, right? If something is in fact true, when you're designing an application for the software development lifecycle, it might be, does the output of the specific call or subroutine give you the expected output? In the case of cybersecurity, is this a collection of events or activity that a user or user ID account actually underwent? Is that malicious, suspicious, or in fact, it's an indicator of compromise?
Yeah, so that's really important. One of the other discussions we had this week was people want to start doing insight for real-time data.
Oh, cool.
Right? The problem is generative AI is really predicting from past data. And so if you're too quick, if you put things out there, let's say you're a news outlet and you're using generative AI, you could actually get legal issues and things, if things come incorrect. People's lives can be on the line, right?
Because they have to verify it.
Yeah, they have to verify, make sure the data is correct. And so these are now newer, unique challenges of how do we get real-time data with things like agents and things like that together with generative AI to maybe format that data. But we really have industries that we take care of that we have to make sure the data is accurate.
Oh, shout out challenge to the upcoming Industries Live host. You got to hit that topic in media and entertainment. Roland just gave you a softball.
Yeah, he did. I like
awesome.
it. I like it. Stay tuned to hear from them on that answer.
Yeah,
Me too.
No pressure, hosts. No pressure.
That's awesome. Well, so it sounds like you've been talking to customers and partners here and really getting some good feedback, some good insight. You spoke about generative AI. Are there other stories that you'd like to share or things that even our customers should be like, oh, I didn't think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, some of my other favorite announcements this week. Yeah. So you talked about Crow. We just announced an EKS, or Elastic Kubernetes Service, which a lot of our partners build on Kubernetes in AWS.
Definitely.
Auto mode, right? So EKS has been around for about 6+ years. Kubernetes is 10 years old. And we've done a good job managing the control plane for customers. And then customers use things like Carpenter, another open source project we innovated to kind of launch any type of instance, including things like Trainium 2 and Forentia 2 can be part of that as well. And now with auto mode, we have now the management of the data plane.
Oh, interesting. So what does that do for the day in the life of someone?
Yeah, I think it makes EKS and Kubernetes more serverless. So some of the benefits that our ECS and Lambda customers have had with some of the native container capabilities, and that technology just turned 10 this year. There was a big
happy anniversary.
The ECS and Lambda. It gives kind of a serverless type perspective for your Kubernetes workloads, but also with the flexibility, I could actually give you a node pool profile so that I can tell you like, hey, this particular workload works with these instances, and I can actually inform the data plane what types of instances, all managed for you.
All managed for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. So, I mean, we're talking time savings, complexity savings, efficiency improvements for customers.
There's a whole discipline in the Kubernetes world called platform engineering, right? Okay. Where they program the system. Like Kubernetes is ultra flexible. It's designed to be that way. With that comes complexity. And so now it really allows the platform engineers to focus in more maybe on ML ops or AI engineering and things like that. So really excited about that.
Oh, I love this talk track, Roland. I mean, in our world of incident management, application performance monitoring, we're talking platform engineering. AI is really helping in this auto mode. I love the auto mode, just simplifying workflows.
Yeah.
Right. Just like let's get people away from that really kind of challenging, just in the trenches work. Let's pull them back into what they want to be doing, which is more creative work, more innovation. Mm-hmm.
And then the evolution we're seeing is data platforms. They're building on top of that. Some of the exciting announcements is also like the new generation in SageMaker, right? That gives you kind of the end-to-end life cycle. Right?
Oh, I heard about that.
So you have the SageMaker unified user interface now that's in preview mode. So it gives you like the end-to-end life cycle around things like data governance, creating new projects, integration with Bedrock, model development, model tuning, observability, end-to-end, using our products like Data Lakehouse, Glue, all these things, giving you an end-to-end view. So I'm really excited about that as well.
And that's going to change how our customers think of things, right? How they build things, how they want to go to market. I can't wait for the use cases that are going to come out of this conference just because of our announcements, right?
Just the people assigned to a project, I think is starting to change now as well, right? 100%. You know, we had G. Rittenhouse, our VP of Security Services here at AWS, saying a similar story of just they're also working, you'll be happy to hear, folks, that our engineers internally in the company are working to simplify the way our services interact with each other. Here's a great example from Roland, and on the security side, they're simplifying how CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and GuardDuty and Security Hub also work together as well, because we said before, everything has a log file. Everything has a log entry. Whether it's a user, it's an application, it's an API call, it's a machine instance, everything has a log, and just tracking that through the whole process is incredibly critical.
Awesome.
That is awesome. You know what? I feel like this is bringing us full circle. Like, this is our last Partners Live at reInvent, right? We've talked about complexity. We've talked about what Werner said about simplexity, making it simple for everybody.
Love that term.
How automation is so important, and disruption is our new normal, right? Like, that's our forward-thinking moment of what we need to be focusing on with our customers.
Don't forget about Chris Betts' security simplified at scale.
That's right.
I said, is he recreating another S3? I was giving him a hard time about that, but it's a great story too. Kind of fits together here, right, of what we're seeing.
And what was the other? Evolutionary architecture, right? That was the other one.
Right.
Yes. And if these terms are new to you folks, look them up. You're going to see a lot of great material online about it as well. Anne-Marie, what's happening next after our chat with Roland here?
Well, after this chat, we're going to kick off Industries Live for the first time at reInvent for the full day. It's going to be running until 4 p.m. Pacific, so do stay tuned. Check them out because they're a fun bunch. They're sitting just right behind these cameras, ready to come on stage.
Roland, thank you for joining us on Partners Live.
Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Us too. Thank you.
We'll be right back, folks. Stay tuned.